The air in the deep woods of the Blue Ridge Mountains was supposedly crisp and rejuvenating. To Wade Wilson, it just smelled like wet dirt and the looming threat of Lyme disease. Wade was currently struggling to assemble a luxury instant pop-up tent that was proving to be neither luxurious nor instant. He was dressed for the occasion in his full red and black suit, but had accessorized with a wide-brimmed safari hat, a fanny pack labeled Snack Tactical, and a pair of sturdy hiking boots he'd stolen from a display at an REI. "Okay, Wade, focus," he muttered, tripping over a protruding root. "Nature is the ultimate therapist. No more city noise, no more Avengers asking you to please stop leaving chimichanga wrappers in the Quinjet, and definitely no more mimes. Just me, the trees, and the crushing weight of my own thoughts." He paused, looking at a nearby sign that warned travelers about bears. "Oh, look, the first cliché!" Wade pointed a gloved finger at the sign. "The warning sign of looming doom. In any good jungle horror flick, this is where the local hermit with 3 teeth tells me I'm going up to the old Blackwood place and that I won't be coming back. Where's my hermit? I feel cheated. I want a cryptic warning and a jar of questionable moonshine." High above, nestled in the interlocking branches of an ancient oak, a shimmering distortion in the air watched him. The predator, a young blood looking to prove his worth, adjusted his thermal vision. The creature's HUD flickered, struggling to process the chaotic heat signature below. Wade wasn't a normal human. His blood was a boiling slurry of experimental chemicals and hyperactive cells. The predator clicked its mandibles. It had hunted warriors in the Amazon and soldiers in the Congo, but it had never seen a prey animal wearing a safari hat while arguing with a piece of nylon.
Wade finally gave up on the tent and decided to build a campfire. He was currently trying to start a flame by rubbing 2 sticks together, mostly because he'd seen it in a movie once and thought it looked rugged. "Any second now," Wade whispered. 1, 2, and nothing! Great. Another trope, the failed fire. This is usually when the music gets all low and bassy and the protagonist says something stupid like, "Is anyone there? Hello? If that's you, Steve, it's not funny." Wade stood up, cupping his hands around his mask. "Hello? Is that you, Steve? It's not funny. I have a katana and a very fragile psyche." A twig snapped in the darkness. "There it is!" Wade squealed with delight. "The ominous snapping twig! Classic! Next up, a bird is going to fly out of a bush and give me a jump scare. Come on, nature, do your worst. Give me the full cabin-in-the-woods experience without the actual cabin because I can't build a tent." Suddenly, 3 small red laser dots appeared on Wade's forehead. They danced across his white lenses before settling right between his eyes. "Ooh, laser tag!" cheered Wade. Wait, no. This is the jungle predator trope. If I remember my late 80s cinema correctly, this is the part where I should be covered in mud to hide my heat signature. But honestly, mud is terrible for the complexion, and this spandex is hand wash only. So let's just skip to the part where you try to turn me into a wall decoration. Thwump! A spear made of unearthly alloy whistled through the air, pinning Wade's shoulder to the tree behind him with a sickening thud. Wade looked at the spear protruding from his chest. "Okay, first of all, rude. That's a major artery. Do you have any idea how much O negative I'm going to have to regenerate now? You're a very aggressive host." The predator decloaked, dropping from the trees with the grace of a falling skyscraper. He stood 7 feet tall, his armor gleaming in the moonlight, his dreadlocks swaying as he let out a guttural, bone-chilling roar. "Nice! The big reveal," Wade applauded with his one free hand. "Love the look. The net fishes are a bit Rocky Horror Picture Show, but you pulled them off. And the mask, very intimidating. Does it come in red? It would really hide the blood splatters." The predator walked forward, reaching for the spear to reclaim his kill. He expected to find a dying human. Instead, he found Wade Wilson reaching up and with a wet, grinding sound, pulling the spear out of his own body. "Here, you dropped this," Wade said, tossing the spear back. His chest wound hissed and bubbled, closing in seconds. "You've got a real silent but deadly vibe going on, but you're missing the most important horror cliché, the monologue. You're supposed to tell me your motivation. Are you hunting for sport, for honor, or did your planet just run out of Netflix and you're bored?" The predator lunged, his wrist blades extending. Wade drew his katanas, and the woods exploded into a blur of silver and alien steel.
They moved through the undergrowth like a hurricane. Wade was laughing, cracking jokes about the final girl, while the predator slashed through trees as if they were toothpicks. "You know what's missing?" Wade yelled, parrying a blow that would have decapitated a normal man. "The tripping over a small pebble scene. Every girl in a slasher movie turns into a toddler the moment she starts running. Watch this." Wade intentionally tripped over a root, tumbled spectacularly, and did a theatrical, scary crawl away from the predator. "Oh no, my ankle! It's slightly sprained. Whatever shall I do, you hulking space beast?" Wade winked through his mask. The predator, growing increasingly confused, grabbed Wade by the leg and swung him into a rock. The sound of Wade's ribs shattering echoed through the clearing. "Ooh, an environment kill attempt," Wade wheezed, his chest popping back into place. "Points for creativity, but you're forgetting. I'm the protagonist. I have plot armor made of literal meat. You can't kill me in the first act. We haven't even had the scene where I find the ancient ruins of your ancestors yet." The predator clicked aggressively. This wasn't a hunt anymore. This was a nightmare. He fired his plasma caster, hitting Wade square in the stomach and leaving a smoking hole the size of a dinner plate. Wade looked down at the hole. "Well, that's one way to lose weight. I can see my own spine. Hey, look, it's surprisingly straight. My chiropractor lied to me."
The predator had had enough. He wanted his trophy. He grabbed Wade by the throat, hoisting him high into the air. He extended his ceremonial blade, aiming for the base of Wade's skull. He was going to take the head and the spine, the ultimate prize. Wait, Wade choked out. "Before you do the spine rip special, you should know something. I'm a grade F trophy. I'm the participation ribbon of the universe. If you put my skull on your mantle, it's not going to stay a skull. It's going to grow a body, eat your alien snacks, and tell you spoilers for every movie you haven't seen yet." The predator ignored him and plunged the blade in. With a massive heave, he ripped Wade's head and spine clear from his torso. He held the dripping trophy up, preparing to roar his victory to the stars. "Is it just me, or is the view better from up here?" Wade's head said, his eyes rolling around to look at the predator. "Also, you're holding me by the hair. That's a bit intimate, don't you think? We should at least have dinner first. I like tacos, or anything that doesn't involve being a spinal cord popsicle." The predator stared at the head. The eyes were blinking. The mouth was moving. Behind the mask, the creature felt something it had never felt in centuries of hunting. Absolute, soul-crushing exhaustion. He looked down at Wade's body on the ground. A new head was already starting to sprout like a grotesque, fleshy tulip. The predator didn't roar. He didn't even hiss. He slowly lowered his arm and placed Wade's head back onto the ground next to the regenerating Audi. "What? No roar?" Wade's head asked from the dirt. "No triumphant chest beating? Come on, man, give the fans what they want. This is the subversion of expectations trope, isn't it? You're gonna be the self-aware monster who realizes that life is meaningless?" The predator ignored him. He turned his back on Wade and began walking toward a small clearing. He tapped a complex series of commands into his wrist gauntlet. A low, rhythmic thrumming began to vibrate through the earth. The trees bowed as a massive, invisible weight descended from the sky. The predator's ship, still cloaked, touched down with a hiss of pressurized air. "Oh, I see how it is," Wade shouted as his body finally grew enough lungs that let him yell.
You're ghosting me. You're literally using a cloak to ghost me. That's so typical of modern dating. We had a connection. We shared blood. Most of it was mine, but still. The predator reached the ramp of his ship. He paused for a single second, looking back at the red and black lunatic who was now trying to reattach his old head to his new neck like a puzzle piece. The creature activated his cloak. His massive form shimmered and vanished into the trees. The ramp hissed shut. "Wait, take me with you," Wade yelled, waving a half-regrown arm. "I want to see the gift shop. Do you have 'I hunted the merc with a mouth and all I got was this lousy t-shirt' shirts? I'll pay for gas." With a thunderous roar of engines, the ship ascended. A massive gust of wind flattened the campsite, sent Wade's safari hat spinning into the darkness, and scattered the snack tactical fanny pack into the bushes. In seconds, the ship broke the atmosphere, leaving the world behind for a planet where the prey actually stayed dead. Wade sat in the dirt, his head finally settled back on his shoulders, though slightly tilted to the left. "Well," he said to a very confused squirrel, "that's a wrap. The monster leaves in disgust ending. Very avant-garde. 3 out of 5 stars on Rotten Tomatoes. The third act was a bit rushed, but the special effects were notch top." He stood up, dusted off his suit, and looked at the scorched earth where the ship had been. "Nature," he sighed, picking up a stray granola bar. "It's overrated. I'm going home to watch Golden Girls and pretend this never happened. But hey, at least I didn't trip over a rock for real."